everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, so the products that I use you can purchase from me at the address at the top of the screen. It's also linked below. My project today is a little piggy box. I used This Birthday Piggy, and we're using this image right there. I also used the Blossoming Happiness dies for, I don't know if you can see it from there, this notebook edge, which I love. I used the Stitch Rectangle dies also, the lovely label dies. Now I'm using a lot of different sets, but it doesn't mean you have to. You might have them from other reasons that you purchased them, but I'm just showing you what's available. You could always just cut the sentiment and instead of using the fancy frames dies, I use the Stitch Rectangle dies here, but it's 2 3/4 by 1 3/8, so you can just cut these. Alrighty. I also used this paper here is from Tea Boutique DSP and some black and white gingham ribbon. Alrighty, the box measures 4 by 2.5 by 1. And I put this ribbon inside the dimensional. This time I'm going to put the dimensional over so you can just slide it off because it is doubled. So I don't want people to have a hard time opening it and putting it back is the thing. Okay. And inside I have 2 lip balms, but you can fit a lot of things. This is just a little bit, well, diagonal you can fit a thing of glue. But just to give you an idea, I put some grass in here, and then I put 2 of the lip balms. The lip balms, my favorite thing on Friday to do is to go to Marshall's, which is right down the road from me, where I live on Long Island, and just look around. But I also like the clearance section, and I guess this was from Easter last month. And it was only $2.50 for 5 lip balms, and they don't have Easter bunnies on them or anything, and they're really nice. There's vanilla, lavender, mint, berry, and coconut. So I just love these. So I pick them up whenever I see something. I rarely have to buy full price moisturizer for my face because it's always there, and even better, it's always in the clearance, and there's still a good year or so on the expiration. So that's what I do. That's one of my pastimes when I'm not creating, painting, doing YouTube, doing eBay. So in my free time. All right, what we need for this is my host code, by the way, for May. If you're spending under $150, if you put this in, you'll get a little gift from me. Over $150, you get your Stampin' Rewards, and I send a little gift anyway. Alrighty. We need a piece of crushed curry cardstock that is 11 by 4.5. We need some basic white for stamping. We need some Poppy Parade to stamp the label. We need this piece of crushed curry that starts out at 3 3/8 by 1 3/4. And this is the die from Blossoming Happiness dies. Let me show you the stamp set. It has the flowers. I did the box that had the cutout with this. And it comes with this kind of lined dots. And then this is a little notebook one. Now you have to just be careful. The line that cuts, you want to put on the outside edge because I did it this way first and it cut it off. So I just lined up my crushed curry, again 3 3/8 by 1 3/4, and on one of the short sides I put it through just like this. And then it gave me this cute little piece that looks like a little bit of notebook paper that's pulled out. It even is split open on the edges. All right, so that's how I got that. Of the Tea Boutique, we need 1 piece that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 3/4, and 2 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 3/4. Alrighty. Okay, we're going to start with our piece of crushed curry that is 11 by 4.5. I'm going to get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 11-inch side. Okay, and we're going to score at 1, 5, 6, and 10. I'm going to turn it to the 4.5-inch side, and we're going to score at 1 and at 3.5. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to fold and burnish. Don't forget about our offer if you want to join as a demonstrator for a business, for a hobby, if you want to just pool all your friends together and keep it open, or you could just let it go. You can just get the offer and then let your, not keep up the $300 minimum per quarter and let it expire. And I forgot, I just looked it up again and I forgot. You also get a pad of, it's not like this. It's similar to this, but it has the in color on it. And I don't think it's as many sheets as I started, but I've had this for the 2 years I've been doing it. But it's very pretty. On my Facebook page, I put a picture of everything you get. It's in the pink, in the pink Designs by Catherine Paper Crafts group. You can join. It's open to the public. And you get $191 worth of products, $4.99. No shipping. It's free shipping. And you pick 125, 5 inks, assorted cardstock, 6x6 DSP, a grid paper pack, catalogs, and a paper pumpkin. Is all yours for $99 plus tax. No shipping. Alrighty? Okay. And this is what we're going to do. This is one of the simpler boxes to make. Okay, if you're a beginner, or if you want to do it quick and not have anything that's very complicated. All right, so how this is there's 1-inch strips, the long ones on the top and the bottom, and the short ones on the left and the right. We're going to start over on the left. And all we're going to do all the way around is cut the sides of the rectangle straight. Everything's to the first score line. And then wedge each side of the square. Okay, move to the other side of this long rectangle. Cut it straight. Skip over to this rectangle. Cut it straight. And then wedge the square that's in the middle. Okay, and you're going to do that same thing 6 times. I'm going to turn it 180 and start over. Okay, and that's what your cardstock should look like after you've scored it and cut it. Okay, now I'm going to get my tear and tape, and I am going to put a piece next to the score line and one next to the edge on every tab we made. Okay, you can use liquid glue. It'll just take a little while for you to hold it to dry. Okay, and we're going to start over on the left, and this is going to be the bottom of our box, so all 4 of these tabs are going to go towards this. Okay, take the backings off, and every product that I use is listed on my blog, which is linked below. Okay, so we're going to take the score line on the tab and make it straight with the side of the rectangle. And then the next set, we're going to put it towards the bottom. Okay. Just make sure that no matter what side you put, which side you start on, make sure that you make the bottom first, because that usually will help you get it right. Okay, now this is going to be our top flap. So I'm going to take these off. Okay, do the same thing. Top score line of the tab straight with the side of the rectangle. Okay. And that's our box. Now, we need our DSP. So we need one piece that is 3 3/4 by 2 1/4, and that's going to go right on the top. Okay, and then there's 4 sides. The long sides are 3 3/4 by 3/4, and the short sides are 2 1/4 by 3/4. Okay, so we're going to let that dry a minute, and we're going to get our basic white and Tuxedo Black ink, and we're going to stamp. Now, we're going to be cutting it with the stitched rectangle die, so make sure that you don't put it right against the edge. We need some room to cut. Great, and then I'll cut that out. And then we need our piece of Poppy Parade. And I'm going to use Thinking of You. And we're also going to be cutting this with a label, so make sure that it's not right up against the bottom. And I'm going to cut this out with the Fabulous Frames, this one here, and the image with the stitched rectangle right here that is 2 3/4 by 1 3/8 from the rectangle stitched dies. And I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go. See how I cut that out? I tried to cut it so that the image is a little bit towards the top so that I don't cover up too much when I put my Thinking of You on the bottom there. All right, now we need some Stampin' Blends. And for the actual pig, I'm going to be using light and dark Petal Pink. So let's start with the dark. And I'm going to do the upper part of the front ear right here. Maybe around the back. And then the entire ear on the back side. And then I'm just going to go, and I'm going to put it about, I guess, 1/8 of an inch up. All along the bottom of the pig. And this is the dark, yes, okay. And the tail I'll do with the dark. All right, and then I'm going to come along with the light, and I'm just going to blend. I'm going to do the snout first, inside of the ear, and then I'm just going to blend the edges together, and then color the rest of it. Okay. Next we need light and dark crumb cake. And I'm going to take the dark and I'm just going to put it underneath all these little scallops, they look like, kind of. All right. And then I'm just going to blend that out with the light crumb cake. I'm just going to pull it down a bit so that it kind of, I'm not going to make the bottom even. I'm just going to leave it a little bit bumpy. Okay. Then we need light granny apple green, and I'm just going to do the leaves, and I'm just going to trace a little bit next to the grass that's on the bottom. I think I forgot to do the leaves on the grass bits on here. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to use light smoky slate for the foot of the pig here, the one that's showing. Dark Daffodil Delight for the flower petals. And light, excuse me, light Poppy Parade for the middle of the flowers. Okay, and that's the coloring. Not too difficult. I don't really do intricate coloring. You see? There's also pictures on my blog that you can look closer. Oops. Okay, now we're going to get our piece of crushed curry that we die cut the edge to look kind of like a notebook piece. And I'm going to put my pig on it, right on it with liquid glue. Okay. Now, since the DSP is on, I'm going to take a small circle punch and I'm just going to take a little piece of a circle out for the finger grip so it's a little bit easier to open. And I'll put a little bit of my grass in. And I'll put 2 of my I want to say chapstick, but it's not. It's lip balms in, and I'm going to close it. All right. Okay. And now what we want to do is we want to get, let me see how much I used, about 16, about 23 inches of black and white gingham ribbon. But what I want to do is I want to bring it as close to the left side as I can get it. I'm just going to run it around it twice. So we want it to separate a little bit so it can't be completely over. All right. And I'm just going to tie a bow at the top, and I'm going to run it behind the other piece also. And then I'm just going to tie the bow towards the top. You can do just one too if you'd rather. Okay. I'm just going to clip them off. Alrighty, and then I'm just going to put my pig on. I want to roll this bow up a little bit farther, if I can. Yeah, okay. The pig's going to go just centered in here, but I'm only going to put dimensional right before the snout because I want them to be able to slip the ribbon off the side so they don't have to struggle with trying to thread it back in if they want to close the box. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to put it down. And these, yep, these are loose, so that's good. And then you can just spread them over as far as they'll go. Okay. All right, now we have to put our Thinking of You little tag. Now also on this, I was thinking of putting go to your happy place and stay there all day, which is kind of what that is. And you could also just tie it onto the bow over here and have it go over here, or just glue it so that it kind of goes up and over, if you like that sentiment better. All right, I'm just going to take a extra little slip of dimensional edges, and I'm just going to cut a long strip, and I'm going to put it on the bottom. I'm going to put it all along the bottom of the sentiment piece. All right, and then I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue right here. And I'm going to put it right at the bottom, sticking off the edges of the crushed curry notebook piece. Okay, and then all that's left to do is to get a Fun Flower resin shapes, which are new in the catalog. They are in Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Parakeet Party, and Starry Sky. And of course we're going to use the crushed curry ones. Okay, and I'm just going to take one of the larger crushed curries and put it right on the right side of, oops, the sentiment. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I would love it if you would subscribe, and if you need anything from Stampin' Up, I would love it if you would purchase from me. Remember, the host code is right here. There's a place for you to put that when you check out. And my address for my Stampin' Up website is at the top of the screen. There's also a link below. There's a link to my blog, which has all the measurements. And if you have any questions, my email is there also. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you after the weekend. Have a great one. Bye.